Welcome back. In our community, we must admit that there are some difficulties that we have to deal with. And one of the difficulties is the view that we have of each other, the view that black men have of black women, and the view that black women have of black men. And even though we are one community and we cannot make it without the other, has one side given up on the other side? And if so, what are some of the reasons? Well, this video that we're about to look at answers that particular question for us. Have black men given up on black women? Let's see what the video is saying.
Yes. Black women are too loud and annoying. I really don't know how to say it. Too ghetto-fied. The race card is played out. I don't understand why race has anything to do with anything. If you like somebody, you like them, and if you have a preference, that's one thing. But just to say that you just don't date black people or white people or whomever, like, that shouldn't matter. If you like somebody, you like them. It doesn't matter if they're black, white, or whatever, and it's not about necessarily keeping it in the race. You just like who you like. So if other people have a problem with it, then that's an issue within yourself. It has nothing to do with, black men being weak or anything like that. It's just you like who you like.
Why'd you say that, black men being weak?
Because I've had people come up to my dad saying that he was weak because he decided to choose up with the Asian woman versus a black woman. But my dad, that's who my dad ended up loving. He ended up falling in love with a Korean person. And I don't think my dad is weak for that. He just likes who he likes.
I think black men have given up on women, period. I think they're all gay. Well, the ones that aren't married are gay. Like, if they're over 25 and they're not married and have no kids, they're gay. And if they're divorced and they have kids and you haven't seen them on a date with a woman, but you always see them on lunch dates with men, they're gay. So I think black men have given up on women and decided to go run to themselves and rub on hairy backs and rub their hairy bellies together.
Okay. We're gonna pause right there. I'm hoping that that wasn't a real interview. I'm hoping that that's not how she feels. But then again, maybe it is. Maybe she's experiencing the effects of being a single parent, because you notice that they're at the park and she is pushing her daughter, I presume, on the swing. So as a single parent, maybe she is angry about the fact that she's having to do this alone. And so this is her opportunity to drag all black men, because she decided to get into a relationship with a black man that was not ready for the things that she was ready for. But now, isn't that very, very destructive to categorize all men as being homosexual, because the men that she chose to deal with happen to be low quality or low caliber? But now you got to understand that in that particular instance, it takes two. She had a decision in regards to what she would do and who she would allow to come into her life and who she would create children with. That was her decision. And so I feel like that particular part of the interview was her giving her thought as regards to how men have treated her. And so that's the conclusion she came to. Is it logical? Absolutely not. Do I agree with it? Absolutely not. But she's free to her opinion. Let's keep going.
Black men have given up on black women. I just believe that for some reason I think black men try to compare us to other races, and I think some other races are a more submissive race, and so they tend to favor that in a way because us women are so strong. I know it kind of sounds cliche because we've heard it before, but I actually believe it's true.
Giving up because they've let some past relationships, marriages, or whatever the case may be, you know, cause them to feel like all black women are the same. And all black women are not the same, you know. And to me, it's not just about the color. A woman is a woman. There's crazy in every color. There's, you know, there's cheating in every color. There's, you know, it's not just black women. But for some reason, they've put us all in one barrel, and we all are labeled the same thing. They think the same about all of us. But that's only some.
One thing you'll notice that she is absolutely agreeing with a line of thought that I just mentioned. So therein lies the difficulty. If I'm putting every one in one barrel, let's say for instance, this barrel is for black women, this barrel is for black men, and so I'm categorizing each individual and putting them in a barrel according to the difficulties that I've had with this particular barrel or with this one. And so no matter what the possibilities could be, I'm still categorizing individuals based upon what I see. I see that you look a certain way, you behave a certain way, you speak a certain way, so I'm automatically categorizing you without taking any effort to get to know you as a person. I'm already predisposed to judging who you are and what you're going to do because I've had past experience with individuals who look and behave just like you. And I'm not making any allowance for there being some variability in men or variability in women. I'm simply judging you based off what I've seen. And I haven't seen each and every individual. There are billions of individuals on the face of the planet, billions of people. And for me to take a select few and use that select few as a basis to judge all of the rest of that group, I am absolutely making the biggest mistake that I possibly could make. And in reality, I'm locking myself off from some of the best relationships that I could possibly have. So let's go on with the video. I agree with her. I do.
That's not all.
I don't really feel like they give up on black women, but I feel like when black men use the excuse of they mess with white women or other races because black women are just too hard to handle and it's easier to date someone out of the other race, I just feel like you're a weak individual and you should be able to handle any woman regardless of race.
So now, if I come to you as a sister and I'd be like, hey, you know, I like you, you're a beautiful young lady, let's do something. And you give me that, hey, well, what can you do for me? What are you going to buy me? Or are you going to take me to dinner to this? And then I got this other Asian young lady or this other white lady or whatever lady that may be, and I say the same thing, and she'd be like, hey, you know what, you're a nice guy, let's go do something. I'm going to opt out to do that versus going to try to give you all my revenue, and you haven't really given me a reason to why I should even invest in you, shall I say. You know?
So you think the sisters demand too much?
I think that this society's placed that upon them that they do. Yeah, sometimes they do. Not all, you know, but the majority of them do. And it depends, once again, what state you in, what demographic. You know, like what he said, a lot of them, you know, go through TV and they're watching all the shows and they're in the business industry now. And a lot of brothers aren't not exactly at their level with financial. So they look at other venues, they look at other dudes, they look at other nationalities, white, Asian, whatever. You know, so the times have changed too.
Yeah. Okay, one of my sisters was saying that, so that means black men or other women are easy. Do you feel like that's the case?
Nah, I don't believe they're easy. I just believe that, you know, they're more secure in themselves, that they know what they want and what they're looking for in a man instead of just financial stability. You know what I mean? They're looking for a mate. No, go ahead, man.
Yeah, you know what? And it has a lot to do with the way you raise. Black women are raised, you know, the majority of black women are badly raised. You know, broken up families. You know, sometimes the grandma raises them, or you know, they thinking that, you know, you really owe me something. When they do try to date you, or when they do see you, they feeling that you owe them something. And a lot of different nationalities, you know, they're actually being raised. They're actually being raised in a two-parent household, and they're actually being taught, you know, to actually love your man, actually to believe in it. You know, black women, you know, you got a lot of issues. You know, you the parent thing, They're not taught to really believe in themselves or respect themselves. So if a woman don't respect herself, how's she gonna respect you?
Maybe they gave up because
Okay. So it's quite a bit said, and as always, you know, I'm big on masculinity and accountability. So the brother that was sitting in the chair getting his hair cut, I can understand where he comes from. I can, because when you look at things, it's not that one group of women is easier to deal with than the other. That's not the line of reasoning that I would come up with, because I've met some black women that absolutely are a joy to be around, absolutely. And even though they weren't raised in a household where it was two parents, they understood that in order to make it in life, they were going to have to shed some of the things that caused them difficulty and try new things. They were open to learning new things. They were open to doing new things. They were open to making themselves the best version of themselves. And those kind of sisters, hey, I relish the interactions that I've had with them in the past. They've been refreshing. But then too, the brother who was the barber, he made a interesting point that applies not only to the women, but also to the men. If you are not raised in a household where you are taught to be a provider, a protector, or a teacher, then that's difficult for you to take that responsibility on when you become a father. If you're not raised to be a helpmeet to your husband, if you've never seen it, if it's never been something that has been pushed in front of you as being positive, and then when you're in that situation, then you're not going to be equipped to handle it either. So I think that's a true situation. That's true. The way that an individual is brought up, the things that they see at a young age has a lasting effect on them. But even though it does, an individual has the responsibility to try to do the best they can to make their relationships work, to find a suitable marriage mate, and to become whatever is necessary outside of giving up one's own self, but to do whatever is necessary to have a positive and a productive relationship with the person that you choose to partner with. I believe in that. And I think that will transcend anything that has happened, any traumas that has happened early in the individual's life. If this is something that you want, you'll work for it. You'll put in the effort to change the negative behaviors. You'll put in the effort to adopt positive behaviors so that this relationship can work out. And I think that that's one thing that we really don't pay attention to as a community, working together to work through difficulties. But then especially seeing that there's a difficulty there, recognizing that this needs to change, this needs to be better. Let's get through.
They don't like the attitudes that black women have, or that they just can't deal with it, or they might just like somebody that's just easy to get at, you know what I'm saying? My girl's black and Hawaiian. Yeah, so I stick to the color. But and I've always messed with black women. I ain't bashing black women. I don't have a problem with them. I got game. So if I want to get a black woman, I could get a black woman. This is not. I like the challenge. Actually, it might be that some black cats just don't like the stuff they got to go through dealing with black women.
So it's a challenge to be with a black woman.
Yeah. I think it's a challenge to be with any woman.
We live in a society where black men are downplayed and talked about like they nothing, ain't got nothing, ain't doing nothing. So women now looking for them white men, Asian men, or something else, because society says that they have more than the black man does. So, in a sense, I feel that black women are giving up on us and went to other races. And they're sitting here making an excuse that it's us giving up on them.
My homies is going for whatever got money. I think that's the main focus. I don't think race got anything to do with it. So, no.
Why not?
Because they're the foundation of a strong black woman, founded a strong black man.
Yeah, I don't feel like they're giving up on black women. I just feel like now, since as a society the population has changed so much that there's no need to just stick with your own race if that's not what you want. There's so many options out there. If a girl looks good, then she looks good, and that's what you're gonna go for. Just because you've been raised to only date within your race.
What's wrong with you, JoJo?
I feel like there's no need to do that as long as there's other options out there for you.
Nah, I don't think so. You just gotta find the right one. That's all. But be a player. Not no player, but be a real man like me. Peace.
All right, so my final thoughts. Listen, I'm not for this. I don't agree with it. I don't agree that black men have given up on black women. And the statistics bear that particular thought out. It's a fact that black men are looking for eligible sisters that they can pair up with and marry and have children in a family. That's statistically that's sound. That statement that I'm making now is grounded in statistics. So we haven't given up. But here's the thing, and I think it applies on both sides. I would say that we stop listening to each other more than anything. I think that in issues that involve us, we don't say what we need to say. And so because we feel misunderstood, then we rely on difficulties as far as arguments. We rely on basically trying to tear each other down, discredit. This is what this has come to because we fail to hear each other out. If an individual is voicing their opinion and their opinion is one that they feel like needs to be heard, maybe the other side needs to listen. Maybe we need to take into consideration what each other want and then move forward trying to help each individual to get what they need. But do you notice what I said? I made a differentiation between wants and needs because there is no end to what a person can want. But their needs are finite. And so if a person is able to get what they need out of a situation continuously, and they're able to depend on the fact that they're going to get what they need, then that's going to provide the basis for a wonderful relationship. And so we understand that there are things that the black man can work on. We understand that there are things that the black woman can work on, but why can't we work them out together? That's the point. I don't think that black men have given up on black women. I don't think so. And I don't think we ever will. Because as the brother mentioned there, the older brother, they are the foundation. They are. Of course, we are the ones who should assume the leadership role, but they're the foundation of the family. They are the first teachers of every child that's born. So it's necessary for us to fulfill our role so that they can safely fulfill their role. As always, I thank you for coming by and looking at this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Be easy.